So now that we have, our firearm kind of concept in place, we need actually a way to go about, handling the equipping, the unequipping, the adding, to our firearms that we can switch between, all that kind of stuff. We need a way to handle that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an equipment component. And this equipment component is pretty much going to be responsible for handling all of that. So handling adding a firearm to our array, replacing it if necessary, because we can only have two equipped at once, switching between them, performing the equip and unequip logic, and potentially, more. So also actually, yeah, I already said equip and unequip. So yeah. So to begin, we're going to go with our SKG Zombies module, and we're going to create a new Unreal class. It's going to be an actor component, and I'm going to put it under a folder called components. Now I'm just going to name this class equipment component. And there's a couple things we need to do initially. So first one being get rid of tick, because we do not need to tick this component at all. So we can remove that, remove the annoying comments, and set B can never tick to false. Next up, we need this class to replicate. So set is replicated by default. Set that to true. And now we are pretty much ready to begin, the base logic. So I'm going to go ahead and start kind of more or less writing this out a bit. So for the sake of testing, we're going to be missing some steps that we're going to be adding in later. Because again, we are going to be doing this through abilities. So cycling through, various weapons, that kind of stuff. There's going to be an ability for that. So what are some things that we need? So the first one is, how do we store what firearms we have? Now, there's a couple ways we can go about doing this, and the easiest one, and the one that I think is personally most suitable for this project, because the nature of it, we're only going to have two firearms equipped at once, is to simply use the spawned actors. Now, the other approach would be, say, having some sort of structure or U object with information inside of it relating to the actual firearm, and using those instead. So when you go to equip, you're basically fetching that information from the U struct or the U object and spawning a firearm out of that data. That is, well, basically approach number two. We're going to do approach number one because, again, we're only going to have 4 players and we're only going to have 2 firearms at the most per player. So I'm not concerned about, any sort of cleanup or anything like that, especially since when they buy a new firearm, if they have, 2 of them already, the one in their hand just gets destroyed anyhow. So it's not really a big deal. So what we want is a replicated current held actor and a array of equipped actors and a replicated index. So index, well, actually we probably don't, yeah, I don't think need any sort of index because we can figure out what index the current held actor is by already being in this array of equipped actors. So those are the first 2 things we want. So let's make a protected section. U property. I don't, yeah, let's make it blueprint read only, even though I doubt we're going to need it. We're going to do replicated using, and I'm not sure of the variable name yet. So we'll just leave it as blah, blah, blah. And category equals equipment component. So let's see. We need first a current held actor, basically. So a T object pointer to an actor. And this actor is going to be called, I can't really think of much else beyond current held actor. So I'd say that is sufficient. So the replicated using is going to be equal to onRep underscore current held actor. So next up, we need an array of equipped actors. So basically the same thing again. I am not going to use replicated using. I'm just going to make this replicated. I'm not sure if we'll need to or not, so I'm not worried about it. But this will be a T array of T object pointer A actor, and this will be the equipped actors. So let's go ahead and make our onRep. So U function void onRep current held actor. And in this case, I need the old value of the previously held actor. The reason being for the unequip. So we're going to do a actor and just call it old held actor. Okay. Now we need to actually set these as replicated inside of the CPP with the get lifetime replicated props. So let's override get lifetime replicated props, just like we've done everywhere else. And we need to include Unreal Network. So net Unreal Network and also net core push model.h. So we can use the macros provided to go ahead and mark properties as dirty, because again, we are using the push model for this project. So we just want do rep lifetime with params fast, U equipment component for C, so C being the class, then V being the variable, which is current held actor, and then the actual params, which I'm going to call params. So these are f do rep lifetime params. We're going to do params dot b is push based equals true, and go ahead and duplicate this line because we need to replicate the equipped actors, like so. Now it's very likely we're going to end up not replicating this to, technically we probably don't need to replicate this at all, but we definitely could get away with replicating it probably just to our owner. But this will be one of those things where we go through and we're doing our optimizations that we're going to go ahead and handle, because not everybody needs to know, what weapon is on your back. They just need to know what weapon is in your hand, because any weapon that is not equipped is going to be hidden. So that takes care of what all is going to be replicated. So now we need some form of, I'm going to call it equip / unequip logic. So what we want to happen is in the onRep current held actor, we need to unequip the current held actor, but it's not the current held actor, it is the old held actor. So unequip the old held actor. And on the completion of that, we want to unlink anim layers, remove ability info, and equip. Actually, I'll do this in a list. That's probably going to be cleaner. Remove ability info and equip current held actor, like so. So that's going to be kind of our staging point. So we unequip the held actor, which performs a montage. Once that montage has completed, we can go through and unlink any anim layers related to this old held actor, remove any ability information from it, from ourselves, from this actor, and then equip the newly held actor. So we're going to be skipping these two steps for now and just trying to get the unequip and equip part to work as expected, because once we have that done, the rest should follow suit pretty easily. Did I not make that? No, I did not. So let's go ahead and make a definition for current held actor. And also, in case it wasn't obvious, this video is going to be broken into a few parts. So we need a way to kind of make a test of this. So what we want is a U function to make it simple, blueprint callable, and we'll give it the category of equipment component. We'll just do a subfolder called test, and we're going to do void. Let's do set, or let's do add equipped actor, a actor, and we're going to want one more, which is going to be set held actor. So we can just, for example, fetch a random one from here if we really wanted to. So we're going to have both of these. Let's go ahead, create the definitions, and just quickly, write them up. So in this case of add equipped actor, we are not going to do any sort of authority checks. We just want this to run server side. So we'll do this in Blueprint. So equipped actors dot add actor, mark property dirty from name, the class name being U equipment component, property name being equipped actors, and the object being this. So next one being current held actor is going to equal actor, and same thing, mark property dirty from name, U equipment component, not equipped actors, current held actor, and again, object name being this. Then from here, we want to fire the onRep underscore current held actor, and we want to pass in the old actor, but we don't have that. So what we want to do is store a pointer to it. So a actor, old held actor equals the current held actor. So we want to do this before we change the current held actor. And there's our old held actor. So the one right here. So we have that set up. Now what we want to do is basically perform the unequip. So we want to unequip an actor. So we can make a void unequip actor. Just make it take in the actor. And this will be kind of our starting point. Yes, let's make it inline, the exact opposite of what I want it to actually do. So right above the onRep, we're going to have our unequip actor. And what we want to do is if the actor is valid, we want to perform montage to unequip. Otherwise, we want to go ahead and go to the equip part. So equip new current held actor. So in order to do that, we basically are going to want to, actually this is probably not the best line. So what we're going to do actually is have kind of a unequip finished, so like an on unequip complete or something like that, rather than just jumping straight to the new equip. So the reason being, we want to unlink whatever animation layers that are there, and just kind of finish the unequip portion. And once that's done, then we can trigger the new equip logic. So for example, hiding the unequipped actor, destroying it if need be, that kind of stuff. So now let's go ahead and replace this with fire or call on unequip complete. So here we're going to do perform montage to unequip, on montage ended, call on unequip complete. So we need a on unequip complete function. So void on unequip complete, a actor, unequipped actor. And let's actually rename actor to unequip. So let's create our on unequip complete, rename actor to unequip. And then here we want to check. So if the unequipped actor is valid, we want to unlink anim layers, remove ability info, and then at the very end, want to check. So if the current held actor is valid, we want to kind of do the flip side. So equip the current held actor. So perform equip montage, give ability info, so on. Well, link anim layers, so on and so forth. So unlink anim layers, remove ability info, hide or destroy unequipped actor, and unhide current held actor. Okay, so this is kind of the route that we're going to take. So in the onRep, what we want to do is basically immediately call unequip actor. And it's going to be the old held actor that we want to unequip. Once we reach unequip actor, if it is valid, so we are such as we already have the 1911 in hand, and we buy the STG off the wall. Actor to unequip is going to be the 1911. Current held actor will be the STG. So this will be valid. So what we're going to do is perform our unequip montage, and we're going to bind to on montage ended, which will then call on unequip complete. Assuming we have no weapon and then we purchase a weapon off the wall, which is not going to happen, we're going to just handle it anyways. We're going to go ahead and call on unequip complete, because this will be useful for when we actually initially spawn the player and give them, some starting equipment such as the 1911. That way we don't have to do a unequip. We can just jump right to the on unequip complete, which will start the actual logic to do the equipping. So here we can actually go ahead and call on unequip complete and pass in actor to unequip. So inside of on unequip complete, if there is a valid, actor we're unequipping, such as the 1911, we want to unlink any anim layers it has, remove any ability info that we have stored in our header here, which we're not going to have for a little bit, and then hide or destroy that 1911. So if we are replacing it, so to speak, as in here, we're going to probably end up checking to see if it no longer exists inside of this equipped actors, then we will destroy it. So let's actually add a comment for that. So hide if still exists in the equipped actors array, otherwise destroy. So let's replace this comma with periods to kind of indicate that these are kind of like different instructions that we're trying to give it. Okay, so now that we have this laid out, we can go ahead and start the actual implementation, because we are going to need to do some additional work to the actual firearm itself. So we need to grab basically information from it. So because we're using actors, we're likely going to use an interface to fetch things such as the equip animation, the unequip animation, the animation layers to link to, the ability info, all that kind of stuff. So with that said, I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can get early access to this entire series.